Hey guys, this is Roland Fernandes, and as some of you know, I'm a guitar player. I'm a guitarist in the band called Nine Lives. Recently, on the 28th of May, we released our latest single called BelievE, and we're just amazed at the lovely response that we've gotten from you guys. The likes, the shares, the comments, and you guys have just been showing so much love. And looking at that lovely response, I just thought I'll make this small little video for you guys to kind of show you the process of recording guitars for this song. So I thought I'll just deconstruct some of the guitar parts and some of the guitar tracks that I've kind of recorded for this song on my session, and maybe later we can just run through some of the pedals and some of the sounds that I've used, some of the guitars that I've used on this song. So you guys can just kind of, in case you guys are interested, hope you like it. So here we are, guys. I'm a Logic user, so this is the session that I was working on for the song, and this is the session that I received from Aggie, who is the producer and keyboard player of the band. He roughly produced this song and he sent it to all of us to dub our parts because we recorded this in lockdown and we all were at home, so we recorded it from our home setups. And so he sent it to us. We had Muriel who recorded the rough vocals for us, and she also features in the final version of the song. So that's her track there, and then we have the piano track, we have textures, we have some synths, and there's an acoustic guitar rough track. And believe it or not, it's recorded by our very own drummer Royston Matthias. He kind of recorded a little reference strumming that we all felt that could work, and this is his track over here. You guys might never hear it, but it's there. And there's bass and there's drums programmed by Aggie, bass and drums, and it was sent to our band members and they kind of did their thing on it. And this is my acoustic guitar track over here, and it's kind of a lot of these, all these pink tracks are the acoustic guitar tracks that you see, and they're kind of stacked into one. So I just like to keep it all stacked into one so that I have a clean looking project and it's easier to work. Although I'm sure this all could be cleaner and this could get into, maybe it could be compiled into 2 or 3 tracks, but I'm just either too lazy to do that, or I just like to keep it a little spread out for myself so that I can see what's happening, in the intro, in the chorus, and in the cross and whatever. So I have a lot of tracks, that's for sure, but these all could easily be compiled into 2 to 3 tracks. And then we have the electric guitar track, which is also, there are a lot of layers, and so you see all of these tracks are the electrics and they go into one track over here named electric guitar. So I'm just going to run through the intro quickly, and if you go to see the intro, we have Aggie who had played the keyboards. He had played the piano over here in the intro, and this was the initial intro of the song before we kind of added guitars and all. So I'm just going to play that for you. So that was what the intro was initially, and if you guys have heard the song, then you'll hear this kind of a riff playing in the filler section of the song, which is between verse 1 and verse 2, and we also have that same riff playing in the bridge. So to kind of not overplay that riff, we just decided to kind of try out a few things. So I came up with this acoustic guitar riff, and we kind of went back and forth with it quite a few times, whether we really need it or whether it's too much in the beginning. But this is what it is. So this is the acoustic guitars in the intro. So these are 4 tracks, and if you see, it's riff and riff DT. I like to kind of DT my tracks. Most guitar players do. Most musicians do DT their tracks. Depends. Even if you're a vocalist, if you're a keyboard player, whatever it is, you like to DT it. And DT it's just doubling up to what you have actually played, and it can be in a little different tone. It can be a different. You can play it a little different, but in the end it's 2 tracks and they're just both going to sound so much fatter and much bigger. So this is what these two sound together. It's the same thing, just I've just hard panned them left and right, and this is how it sounds together. So I've just actually added a little CLA guitars over here just to brighten it up and compress it a little. But I mean, if you listen to the final mix, and you're just going to love the acoustic guitar sound, and that's because of Abhishek. He's mixed it so well, and believe it or not, I've recorded the acoustic guitars have been recorded on SM58, a Shure SM58 mic, because I didn't have any other option. I mean, in this lockdown, we don't have access to good studios, and I didn't have a good mic with me at that time. So this was recorded. All these guitars are recorded on SM58, and this is the guitars, the sound with the CLA guitar plug-in on, but without it, I mean, you're going to hear a mixed version of it if you hear the final song, and it sounds beautiful. Thanks to Abhishek for making the guitar sound so nice and as if I've recorded in a beautiful studio. Before we move on, I'm just going to show you these two tracks. So these two tracks are soft panned, they're not really hard panned like these two, but they act as a layer to the riff, and they're just really single strums that I've kind of played with my fingers. This is how it goes. I'm playing with click. So that's how it is. It's just a little layer to these two tracks. So when all four play, this is how it's going to sound. So yeah, that's the guitars, and then I think Aggie programmed some. He put some textures in the back, and there was a lot of other stuff happening in the background when you listen to the final version of this song. But let's move on to the verse where the vocals come in.
They say people fight through the night for a diamond. This something that we can't mend.
Same thing plays again.
Died to the thoughts that was drained by our fathers. Is this something that we can change?
And I'm just going to stop right here to tell you that this is where my electric guitars actually do come in. If you see in the intro, there's nothing, and it's got a lot to do with how you design the song as a guitar player, and that's how I think of it, at least. And it also really depends on how many other instruments are playing, and what direction you want the song to be in, what how much you fill the song is. It totally depends on all these factors. So I kind of knew that we have Omkar Dhumal, who is playing the saxophone and the Chennai. We had Omkar Salunke, who played the tabla. We had, like, I think 7 to 8 vocalists who are doing backing vocals, and some are lead vocalists, and there's a lot of stuff happening. So it's not just guitars and keyboards and vocals like it looks like in this session. So there are a lot of other elements in the song, and so you always have to leave a little space for others. Doesn't mean you just totally not fill up the song. So I filled it up as much as I thought I should, and whatever was not required was eventually taken out or muted or whatever. And because that made space for a lot of other instruments that came in. So here I have a couple of electric guitar tracks that just step in the filler section of the song. This is how it goes. So that piano, there's a piano riff that's playing over there. I'm just going to solo the acoustic and electric guitars for you. There's just 4 tracks in total, but this is how it sounds. So this acoustic just begins to start strumming a little because we're just picking up the kind of the pulse in the song, and this is the electrics just playing. Like, I've not named them properly if you go to see. Sorry about that, but these are a few lines, and there are some textures that's playing in the back. So this is how it sounds. So I'm just going to solo one of these guitars and just going to play a couple of bars. That's the chords, and we go to the lines track, and this is what's playing. So yeah, that's what's playing, and together they sound like this. So that's a lot of I'm going to get to the sounds bit of it later. So what kind of a sound I use, and obviously this was eventually mixed, and this is an unmixed version of this. Again, I'm just going to specify that. But this is just to show you the guitars of the song, and I'm just going to tell you later on what pedals I used with for these patches. A lot of people have been asking what reverb and what delay pedal do you use, and what did you use for this song. So I'm going to tell you all of that in the latter part of this video, and let's move on to the second verse. So that's a nice little filler that I played on the acoustic. I also kind of liked it. Finally, normally I don't like half of my tracks, but I kind of liked what I played over here. And if you go to see, again, I've layered this. It's hard pan left, right. So I just get a little, it would sound really thin if I just play one track, but I've layered it and made it 2 tracks. And this is a nice little finger kind of a pattern that I've done for this verse, because it's not as mellow as the first verse where I just did a small little riff, and it was not as pulsy as this is. So that's what's happening on the acoustics. So there's some electric guitars happening over here. Again, my favorite reverb and my favorite delay. It's by my favorite pedal making company, and they are Strymon Engineering. I just love their pedals, and a Strymon Timeline as a delay pedal, and Strymon Big Sky as the reverb pedal, which I've used, and I love the sound that it gives. So it really fills it up. You don't need to do additional tracks because it's already so filled with that reverb and with that delay. So that's what's happening. Then we move on to the cross.
What have you done to this world? What can be done to make it right? Like brothers, if we try, we'll be friends till we die.
So some of those guitar lines, again, if you heard, that's a lot of reverb and a lot of delay.
What have you done?
Let me just play that again. So that's a little slide guitar happening over there. It's actually not a slide guitar. It's a little tremolo thing that I've done over there. And yeah, another tremolo thing there. And these, there's a ton of reverb, and it's just filling up the whole space over there, so that it just gives a little nice ambience over there. And that's the cross. Let me just play it from the center of the cross.
Brothers, if we try, we'll be friends till we die.
Going into the first chorus.
I believe there's a light, a little hope to never find.
I have a couple of acoustic guitar tracks.
I believe we'll make it.
just strumming a little more intense than the first verse. That's the electrics for you. So now we get to the bridge, and the bridge was a very interesting section that we thought of. In fact, the bridge was what we started off the song with. We came up with this music section, and let me just solo maybe the piano for you to get what the riff is. So that's what's happening. I'm sure Aggie must have added and maybe taken out some of this post this session. So there's a lot of stuff that might not play in the final mix of the song. There's a lot of factors that come into play when you have so many instruments and so many vocalists. So this is what the piano was playing at least at this point. And this is the bridge of the song. I'm just going to play it. Some heavy power chords over here. Again detailed. Again a very reverby track. So that was the music section. We had, I think, the saxophone also coming in. And there was a lot of backing vocal tracks, reporters, and a lot of protests and all of that. A lot of noise happening, but that was required for the video. And so you might hear that over the music playing. And so this is what the music is actually. And I'm just going to play. I don't think we've not used these power chords, at least in the first half of this bridge. So these power chords were not used in this beginning, and they come in after this drum roll right here. So we felt that it's getting a little too heavy for the beginning of the bridge, so we wanted to kind of build it up nicely to the dip, which is cross 2 over here. So we started off, I think, by muting the power chords, so it was much more cleaner and less powerful for the beginning of the bridge. There's still one electric guitar track playing over here. And now the power chords step in. So that's the bridge, but if you go to see this, there's a muted track over here, and I kind of gave a little lead option, which I was also not too happy with. I didn't really like what I played, but I just thought I'll just give it and let's see what Aggie, says, and if he likes it, if he doesn't like it. So I just played it and I recorded it and I just sent it to him, and we had a lot of other elements playing, so it turned out to be quite unnecessary in the final mix of the song when we had all the other instruments, and when we had the vocalist singing. I think they kind of sing "I Believe" or something like that in this section. So if you go and listen closely, you'll hear that. Clive would be able to tell you a lot more on that. I'm just going to play this with the lead. I just hope it's not too loud, but this is something that I had come up with. I'm going to play it from the middle. it kind of fades off into this. So it was kind of a counter and mix of the riff melody and a counter also and a little lead all mixed in one, but it kind of proved to be unnecessary. It's not, it wasn't needed in the final when we finally kind of heard everything, all the other instruments. So that is one track that's just gone muted. And let's move on to the cross section. So there's just a high acoustic guitar playing over here. So if you go to see, this is actually, they are two tracks. They are not the same thing playing. So this is one, and this is one, and the second one is this. Just single strums. But kind of together they really sound beautiful, I think. So that's what's happening over there on the guitars, and electrics are really, it's quietened down because it just, so much power just came in over here. Just had to kind of give a little break before we step into the loudest section of the song. And so this is the ending of the cross. So we have, sorry, I'm just stopping there. We have 3 acoustic guitars playing over here. Just going to play that. So one guy is just giving a little pulse. And these just continue with the rhythm pattern. And here we step in with the electric guitar power chords. That's that. And then we have some couple of so I kind of came up with a line. It's not a riff, it's just like a little outro line that I played on the guitar, and a couple of people, a couple of friends actually messaged me, really like that guitar line that you played in the end. So that's good, what's playing on this track. And if you go to see, I've started off playing it with the lower octave, and then I move on when we go to the second section of the chorus, which is the outro. I just move on to the higher octave, and that's when you can really hear the energy in the playing. So this is the line on the low octave. Switches to high octave here. That's solo for you, the guitar line. The line continues really soft so that there's no abrupt stop over here. And we have the acoustic just playing some twinkly stuff in the end. So yeah, that's that. And so the electric guitar line, in fact, I also kind of really grew a liking to it, and I just thought instead of coming in with the high octave directly, it's a long section. It's a really long section. It's 16 bars, and we can't just have that line, playing for 16 bars at one same octave and same register, so I mean you can if it's way more interesting than this, but this is a decently interesting line, and it really picks up the energy when you play the high octave later on, and from the second section post the eighth bar. So that was really something that I kept trying. I kind of tried three to four times which register would really work and which stands out, and I figured out that I can start off with the low octave. I'll just solo all the electric guitars for you to hear what else was happening to back this line up. Then the acoustics. Okay, I'm going to stop it there. And sorry if that irritated you, but go and listen to the song on YouTube. And hope you like this. And this is sort of the deconstruction of the guitar parts. It's not a deconstruction of the logic session or of the whole song. And in case you guys would like that, please put in a request, or maybe you could DM us and just let us know in case you want a song deconstruction, maybe of this song, or our first release, which was I Wish I Could Fly, or our Christmas release, which was Anthem of Love. You can search all these songs on YouTube, and if you liked anything, if you like the guitars, if you like the bass, if you like the drums, if you like the programming or the mix or anything, you guys could just maybe just DM us and let us know if you liked it, and you would like a deconstruction of that, just a little detailed deconstruction like this, like this guitar deconstruction that I just did for you guys. So I hope you guys kind of understood everything, and if you have any questions, you can please ask me. You can DM us. You can just ask us whatever you feel like with regards to this video. And let's head on, and let's get to my pedal board. And I'm just going to show you guys what gear I used for this, and maybe run through a couple of the sounds that I got by using the pedals that I used. So guys, this is my pedal board setup that I kind of use live plus studio. I add a lot of pedals when I need it, uh, depending on the sound of the song and depending on what guitars I'm using. But this is the basic setup, and this is the very setup that I've used for BelievE also. So that's a compressor, a Keeley compressor, 4 knob, and I kind of use it for a lot of my clean tones. Running into the OCD by Full Tone. Every guitarist loves this pedal, and I use it for a lot of my heavy distortions, heavy power chords. Running into a lovely drive pedal by Flip Pedals. This and that one, they're both made by this Indian company called Flip. Shout out to Rahul. Amazing pedals. This is a little lighter distortion, and that one is a much heavier one, but that also cleans up really well. I love these two pedals, and they're really awesomely priced too. So please go and check them out. We have the mini tube screamer. Amazing little fellow, which in BelievE I used it for the verse. I was talking about those lines that I played in the verse, coupled with the reverb and the delay. So that's the light distortion that I used, the mini tube screamer. My very first pedal, the BD2 Boss Blues Driver, it's the go-to pedal for me for overdrives. It's an amazing pedal, and that coupled with the OCD, they comprise of my distortions in this song especially. So in the power chords, you would have heard two of these guitars playing. So one is always the BD2 and one is the OCD, and I couple them and they both sound amazing together. All going into the EP boost. I'll keep it off because it's too green. The EP boost just kind of enhances the whole tone and everything, and it gives a fatter sound. It's a nice boost pedal that most of you guitarists would have heard of. This is my Strymon timeline delay, Strymon Big Sky reverb. I don't think I should talk too much on it. You should go and check out reviews if you've not heard of these pedals. Amazing pedals, and they are my go-to pedals for reverbs and delays. They are really good sounding pedals. So a lot of the reverbs, and I mean all of the reverbs and the delays that I've used in this song also are from the Big Sky and from the Timeline. So these are the sounds. I like to keep a couple of extra pedals over there. That's my wah Moa, which I never used on the song at all, but it was there, so I spoke about it. So this is the my pedal setup, and if you have any questions, you can please ask me. Maybe DM us on 9lives or DM me. You can ask me with regards to the sounds that I used. And let me just show you the guitars. So guys, this is my acoustic guitar that I use for the song, and this is a Martin. It's a GPCPA 5 model, and it's made in Mexico, but it really sounds amazing. And you heard the guitars on the song, and it was recorded through an SM58. As I told you, I didn't have any other option with regards to miking this guitar for this song because of lockdown and everything. And Abhishek mixed it, and I just love the sound, the output. It's just amazing. I use it for all of my recordings. And this is my electric guitar. This is my Fender American Strat. It's a Strat Plus 97, but I've changed the pickups, and these are Lindy Fralin pickups installed by Alberto from Alberto Music. I love these pickups, and I love the sound of this guitar, and I use it for all of my shows and almost all of my recordings. Even though I have a Telecaster and a Gretsch, I have a few more electric guitars, but this is always the first electric that I'll use for a recording before, trying out other guitars for different sounds. You must have seen videos of me, or if you've heard any of the songs, these are the guitars which I use for pretty much all of my recordings. I do have many more other guitars which I use, but these are definitely also there, at least for some of the tracks in the songs. If you want any of the band members to do more of these videos with regards to the drums, the bass, or Aggie producing the song, or the mix, anything, if you would like us to do more of these videos, please do message us and let us know. We would really be happy to do this. Please do go like, share, subscribe, follow our stuff on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. I'll make sure to add those links at the end of this video. Hope you like it.